Good morning. This is Kathleen Clow with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, July 25th, 2025. As low pressure off the California coast slowly tracks inland, the chance for mixed wet and dry thunderstorms continues across northwestern Nevada and into parts of Idaho. The fire potential impacts across the next few days include a risk for lightning today and tomorrow, as this will be the most widespread period of mostly dry thunderstorms. Elsewhere, warm and dry southwesterly flow remains in place over the rest of the Great Basin, bringing a risk for gusty winds and low RH across much of southern Utah and the Arizona Strip for Saturday. This thunderstorm activity lingers into Sunday across the northern Great Basin and becomes wetter in some areas, especially the Sierra. The past 24 hours show up to a quarter of an inch of precipitation across northern Nevada, southern Idaho, and parts of Utah, with pockets of heavier precipitation across northern Nevada of up to a half inch to 1 inch of rain seen in dark blue. Lightning strikes were concentrated within this line of storms. In the past 24 hours, we had 19 new starts for a total of 420.9 acres and a large fire growth of 16,874 acres. The past 7 days show the highest precipitation amounts across northern Idaho and the southern Great Basin, where we had those heavy rains late last week. Up to a tenth to quarter of an inch of rain fell across most of central Utah, north of I-80 in northern Nevada, and the outer edges of central Idaho, with the rest of the basin remaining dry. Despite this, the majority of the Great Basin remains below normal precipitation during the last 30 days, except for pockets on the Vegas Strip in central Idaho. Fuels remain critical across much of the Great Basin. The past couple days of scattered rain and thunderstorms have brought ERC values down across the Sierra Front and unchanged across northern Nevada and Utah. Across the rest of the Great Basin, ERC values are back on the rise and remain above 80% for central Nevada, central northern Utah, and southeastern Idaho. Satellite from this morning shows some lingering storms through the northern Great Basin, accompanied by a few lightning strikes as yesterday's storm systems continue to move north and east. Smoke impacts for today include all of eastern Utah as smoke from the Dragon Bravo fire and Monroe Canyon fire propagates north and east, as well as some smoke impacts across our northern Idaho fires and that new start in central Idaho. Smoke impacts across northern Idaho and eastern Utah persist into tomorrow, with smaller, more concentrated areas of high impact across eastern Utah. As that low pressure system moves east across California, it brings an increasing chance for storms and lightning across western Nevada and southwestern Idaho, where we've issued a high risk for lightning today. Our afternoon wind gusts you can see include pockets of higher winds with those storm outflows, as we expect a little bit of precipitation and mixed dry wet thunderstorms across northwestern Nevada and Idaho as well. You can see the chance for that dry thunderstorm coverage, and also some winds from earlier in the day where you can see those isolated gusty outflows from those dry thunderstorms. Minimum RHs across the basin today remain low, especially in eastern Nevada and Utah, where you can see we're in the single digits. We do get a little bit of recovery in the teens in those areas we're getting our scattered storms. Overall temperatures maybe a little lower, upper 80s, low 90s across most of the Great Basin. On Saturday, you can see we've still continued that risk for lightning, but decreased it across the Sierra Front, where we expect to have some of that heavier precipitation. We've also introduced a wind risk across southern Utah and the Arizona Strip as that breezy, dry air settles into place. You can see our afternoon wind gusts for Saturday show those outflows from those mixed wet, dry thunderstorms we talked about previously, and also that wind potential in orange across Utah and the Arizona Strip. Forecast precipitation is still light on Saturday, but heavier across the Sierra Front. You can see here our minimum RHs on Saturday continue to stay in the single digits across much of the basin, as well as you can see that isolated risk for dry thunderstorms across northern Nevada and into southwestern Idaho. On Sunday, we have no high-risk triggers as the storm potential leans more towards the wet side. There is some ridging in place across the southern Great Basin, bringing breezy and dry conditions. You can see here for Sunday, the occasional little storm outflow with that wetter precipitation, but for the most part, not a whole lot wind-wise. Forecast precip, you can see a little bit over the Sierra Front and then going to be mostly up into central Idaho. Minimum RH values on Sunday remain low in the single digits for most of the southern Great Basin and all of Utah. You can see some recovery in the teens where we're getting those mixed wetter storms on Sunday. Max temperatures, a little bit of recovery, still 80s to low 90s for most of the Great Basin. The next 3 days of precipitation shows most of our precip across western Nevada and the Nevada Idaho border, as well as into northern Idaho. The rest of the basin will remain dry. On Monday, those areas that were receiving precipitation from our mixed wet dry thunderstorms are recovering and back into the yellow and green risk categories. You can see most of Nevada and all of Utah still in that moderate risk category due to the dry, breezy conditions. On Tuesday, things continue to dry out, leading to more areas of moderate risk across the Great Basin with that ridging in place. On Wednesday, similar, you see that dry air in the red there still persisting over Utah and Nevada. So you got moderate risk for those areas. Some low risk across the Arizona Strip in southern Utah due to the chance for some monsoonal moisture on Wednesday. On Thursday, as that chance for precipitation tracks north, you can see parts of Utah have gone from moderate risk to low risk due to the chance of precipitation. And so a little bit of recovery for some of the Great Basin there, but still very, very dry across most of Nevada and southern Idaho. The next 7 days of precipitation show at least up to a tenth of an inch of rain across most of the Great Basin except central Nevada, northwestern Utah, and parts of central Idaho. Pockets of up to a quarter to half inch of rain are seen where we expect our mixed thunderstorms in the northern basin over the next few days, as well as in southern Utah and the Arizona Strip where we expect some monsoonal moisture mid to late next week. The next 8 to 14 days show the chance for above normal temperatures, with the highest chance for above normal temperatures across the northern Great Basin. The precipitation outlook shows near normal precipitation for most of Nevada and above normal precipitation for the rest of the Great Basin. That concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.